Yeah. So I need to work on my moves a little bit better and do so well. So how did I do? Done, yeah, how
Man, you
did I
did
do?
wonderful, man. Yeah, I got
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I
jump,
got the moves. I think I
jump.
got to put more of the back in the
You got to
shoulders
put the.
in it.
Yeah,
More
you can't
back.
do it. You get back into it.
Yeah. You gotta do it. Put your back into it. Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome back to Tiger Talk with the 1400 Club, Band Sessions with the Boom. I'm your host, Terrell Key, aka T Reezy. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast and turn on those notifications so you will never miss an episode. We're on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever you listen to podcasts. So I am joined today once again by my lovely, wonderful friends, Toby Johnson and Danielle Walls. What it do? What up, though?
What up, though?
What it do, brother?
We in here,
Yep.
number 4,
No,
5,
this is five. This is
number
number 5.
5.
all the
We're
way
losing
live.
count. See,
All
this
right.
Yeah,
that means it's getting good. They let us come back
good.
again, and now we're losing count. That's a good thing. I think it's a good thing.
I think so too.
Y'all doing all right, though? Everything good with y'all? We're back. What's up? What's the deal?
Man, yeah. How's it going with you, man?
Everything is gravy. Can't complain. Danielle, how you
Family,
doing?
everybody good?
Everybody's
Absolutely.
gravy.
Good.
Man. Cool.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. We here. We back again. So I'm excited. We got a special guest, but before we get into the special guest, we have something that we need to do. I don't know what that is. But
You know
now I
what? I got a question for y'all. He got
another question,
considering the
Danielle.
guest that we got today, I'm super duper excited about the guest that we got today.
Oh, really?
So I'm gonna give hints, but I'm not gonna give hints. People gonna figure out what part of the boom they are based off the question, and I'm okay with that. But they're gonna be super duper surprised when they see the guest. So my question, all right, thinking about 4 years that we marched, 98, 2002. All right. It doesn't have to be 98, 2002. It can be any year. All right. Any show that you've seen. What has been your favorite J-Set tune?
Ooh.
Soft and Wet.
Oh,
Soft
I knew
and
somebody was gonna say that. That's Fresh and Wet, right? Prince.
Yeah.
Okay.
Soft
I
and
got
Wet.
two.
Yeah.
The first one is Swoop.
Oh,
The second one is I Go to Work. But really, the first one is I Go to Work.
mhm.
And the second one is Swoop. Swoop is the most, I think, popular. And maybe people are more familiar with that one.
Mhm.
Or maybe more people are more familiar with that one. But I Go to Work.
Okay.
Go back and
My
watch it. Go back and watch that one.
Yeah, we got to go back and watch that. My first one was I'm gonna agree with you. Was a Swoop because being a snare drummer, when they danced, they were right in front of us. And I remember the first time that it was like ultimate respect was when they did like a cartwheel on their elbows during Swoop, and I was like at the end and then landed to a split. I was like, dang, they doing stuff like I didn't know they had to do all that type of
And then
stuff.
they landed like this.
Yeah, like I was like, oh,
In the
that's
split.
respect.
Like,
Yeah, I was like, how you do that? It was elbow flip. Da. I was like, okay, y'all doing that stuff. But the second one after, this is after we marched it. They did a Britney Spears song. I think it was Toxic. And the dance routine for that was hot too. So yeah, those were my tunes right there. Toxic and Swoop. They need to bring Swoop back.
I only had one. I didn't have two. I should have had two like you guys. I feel bad. But Soft and Wet was Mr. Adams wrote that.
Yeah.
And we spent hours practicing that tune. We had to cut it up, chop it up 50 million different ways to fit the count for the J6. That was so Soft and Wet was mine. But I Go to Work. That was where did we go?
You asked the tune, right? Not the dance. I was thinking the routine, the actual J-Set routine.
Yeah, that's good.
What?
Yeah,
go either way. Like take this where you go.
Yeah, exactly. Soft and Wet now,
that's good.
Hands down, like was probably one of the coldest Paul Adams arrangements we played
ever. Yeah, I agree with
that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Appreciate it, man. That was the easy.
That was a good. You know what? You and these questions are you always come through with the ones that make you go,
Really?
Dude,
gotta look and
that's
think
it,
into
man.
space.
I don't know. I love coming up with this stuff, man. I appreciate y'all answers. I respect y'all answers because I respect y'all as boomsmen and women.
Groomsmen. Yeah,
Where
that's us. We are definitely that
Mm-hmm.
boomsmen. All right, so appreciate that, Toby. That was amazing, sir. Man, you always so I need to start. So I'm gonna start doing my homework.
I'm excited to hear our
Sir.
guest answer to this question.
Ooh.
Ooh.
You know what? Let's not even let's go ahead and jump right to it. All right, y'all. So it is time once again. We are back. We have another special guest. I cannot wait to bring this special guest on. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I gotta get my phone. Chloe Crowley. Yay! What's up?
Hey.
Hey.
Chloe, what's happening? How you be?
Hi, how are y'all?
Good.
We're
Great.
doing fine. So you are. I'm gonna let Danielle do this. Danielle, she's the first lady, the second lady. You're the first lady. You're the first lady guest
Okay.
on the show.
Okay.
Bam. Danielle. So the ladies, it's ladies' night tonight. Ladies' night.
She's the first J set
Mm.
on the show.
First
Uh-huh.
day sit on the show.
Okay.
Look
Talk
at
about
that. Let's
Yeah.
talk about it. Let's get into it.
it.
Chloe
Yeah.
says she's doing okay. You
So
doing fine today?
I'm really excited to answer the question. Can we go ahead and do that?
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Favorite J set
So
tune. It
what's
can be
funny
more.
is while y'all were talking about it, I'm like off like, yeah, everybody's gonna say swoop, everybody's gonna say, I go to work. Which after I became a J said, yes, those were great. But I have to give it to the Toxic '04. That was because that was the show that I saw that I was like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and try out. At first, I was like, oh, I'm not gonna make it. I'm a strong 99 pounds. Don't know if I'm gonna make stage presence body cuts. Don't know what that's gonna be like. And then I think it was high school day. When they did Toxic at home. No, it wasn't high school day. It was the Jackson Ballet of Bands, Jackson, Mississippi Ballet of Bands, where all the high schools come. And of course, I grew up seeing a J set because my mom was a J set, but never thinking that I could be one, only because I've always heard her and her friends and my, quote unquote aunts talk about, how hard it was to be a J set. And I'm thinking, well, if it was hard back in the 70s, I know it's gonna be hard, in the early 2000s. So, but seeing Toxic and they had on Dallas, I know y'all probably don't know the names of the uniforms other than Tiger Girl. But they had on Dallas, which was a bright royal blue that made everybody just look, fabulous. And that was mine. So Toxic was my number one.
Oh, okay.
Got something in common. I love the tune, but I look what you guys did with that song.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't on the squad, so it was what they did, but
I got a question for later on in the show. So I just want to say that I'm going to put this down in my notes since Toby got me with, and I don't have any note cards yet. I'm going to put this in my note, but I got a question for later on. So let me just, y'all don't mind me.
Okay.
Yeah, you ladies.
Okay.
I got a good question.
So, right, let's get into it. So, we're going to intro you by allowing you to tell our audience, of course, name, year, your freshman year. We know what you do, obviously, what you did in the book. But yeah, we know your name as well. So, what year? What year was your freshman year as a JSET?
My freshman year was 2005, and I danced all 4 years and was captain 2008 to 2009.
Okay. So, speaking of captain, right?
Yes, ma'am.
I think I remember you were appointed captain after someone had to leave the squad. Am I right?
So the way that worked out, we kind of got into trouble. And if you've ever gotten in trouble on campus, they have, these hearings and investigations. So there were like 2 or 3 games where for example, if the game started before the investigation took place, they weren't allowed to be on the squad at the time. And so I had to stand in until the captain actually came back, which was Saki, Shavonda Pennell. And that was like maybe 1 or 2 games. I really can't remember. It was really foggy. All the years of starting to run into each other, even the years that I've, been directing. But and she came back and finished that year, and then I was the captain the next year.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was how was that? Like, how did that even?
It was scary.
So it was scary.
Scary.
Mm-hmm. How
Yes,
so?
Because I think before you're like chosen, you kind of have this idea that you might be chosen, and that wasn't in my radar. And it was just like, I'm just here having fun and just being honest. And this is what I've told all of my captains: being a captain isn't as much fun as just being on the squad, because you have to think. You don't get to just dance and have fun and just like, oh, I know that. Oh, I know that. I can do that. I can do that. You have to think about what you're going to do and actually do it. So you're thinking for yourself as well as the rest of the squad. And that just was never fun to me.
I get it.
Oh, being on a Wednesday and we're going to a game on a Saturday to say like, hey, come on, you in the front. It wasn't fun. I just say that. It was very scary. That's the word. I'm sticking with.
Was it stressful? Because you were like,
yes.
I wasn't expecting to do
I
this.
wasn't expecting this, and didn't know who was coming back, who wasn't gonna come back. Like, you don't know what's gonna happen. And so you're just going day to day, like, oh, I'm just out here, living it up, so to speak. But it's just, it is what it is. The show must go on, as everybody always says. So, yeah, scary.
Yeah.
So it's so funny. Every time we have somebody on Chloe, we all get a chance to learn something. I have never in my life heard anybody say that being a JSET captain was scary and stressful.
Well, that was just when I had to do those 2 games when I didn't have the summer to prepare to be the captain.
Oh.
So I'm talking about when the year before I was actually captain. But I will. That's just my answer. Everybody else may say they had fun. Being their captain year was fun and it was great and it was all of this and all of that. It came with its challenges. I just say that.
So, Chloe, what was it about, like, your ability to dance or your personality or your leadership? Why were you chosen in that moment?
I have no idea. I still don't know. I honestly think maybe I was the only old girl that wasn't in trouble.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, if I remember, yeah. I think that's what happened.
You think being a legacy had anything to do with it?
I don't think so at all.
Really? That's not how JSETs roll?
No. No.
You don't mean to tell me just because my mom was a JSET?
My mom danced with Miss Worthy. Miss Worthy was my mom's captain.
What?
Wow.
I didn't know.
Miss Worthy was at my wedding, at my baby showers. Like I knew Miss Worthy's son, Edward, and I grew up being at JSET practice together. We're the same age.
Wow.
We grew up seeing JSETs and being at all the stuff. And
we know Edward.
It did not matter that I knew Miss Worthy.
Wow.
You had to earn your spot just like everybody else.
Did. And sometimes, my sister did too.
Yeah. Sometimes it's harder when you know the person.
Yeah, because she, we have running cuts, and I hate running. I was always a struggle runner, always. And I'm like the very last one to finish. That was me. And she would say, "Well, Chloe, you just run like you got bricks for feet. I don't understand why you can't run faster." And so it's just like, she's expecting me to, come on with it, but no.
So I got a question. So one of the things that I used to always find interesting. This is something before we get into the whole marching piece. Something that I've always found interesting. An interesting event was J-Set tryouts, where we as in all of the boom alumni, we get the opportunity to witness this. Now, of course, back in the day, it was just like boom people and a few people on the yard. It wasn't like a whole event. So walk us through what J-Set trials is like, because there are plenty of videos out there, a lot of tapes, VHS tapes. People have stories. One girl didn't make it, the other girl did make it, whatever. So walk us through J-Set trials. How is that even? How does that work? How does J-Set trials work?
Now or back then?
Back then when you were marching.
So it was pretty much the same. People had the dry erase boards and the poster boards and all of that. But
what was that for? What was the dry erase boards? And
I don't know. I never had one.
Saw
You would have to ask,
Great.
your fellow boomsmen.
I will ask them. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. But I think I kind of go back and forth with it. I understand the scrutiny and the pressure and the amount of courage it takes to try out again. It's no secret. I promise you, I'm not even exaggerating. I was 99 pounds. And so from people that have had to, lose weight to try to fit into this stereotype, I was one that had to gain weight. So it's just a difference of opinion. Now, moving forward to 2023 in our 50 plus years of existence, this is not something that's easy to do. Just dancing is not easy. And so then just having to put yourself out there in the public, being that, we do perform in the public all the time, but I just think it adds a different scare tactic, if you will, just having the scrutiny of the public, because it did kind of get out of hand sometimes, just being honest. And you never knew if it was you or not, so it could have very well been me, but I thank God that it wasn't.
So that's something that's something that a lot of people probably never knew about when it comes to like the weight and the body cuts. Lose weight, gain weight, to fit this particular mold, to fit this particular look. So and then I can only imagine what it was like, from I would know, but from a woman's standpoint, I know women are always self-conscious about their bodies, period. Just a woman thing. So man, I can't even imagine. So now I'm going a little bit left and I'm gonna bring it back. So like emotionally, psychologically, like what does that do to a girl or to a student that is I don't know, at whatever point it is, whether it's gain weight, lose weight, you didn't make the body cut, you made it. Like how does that go psychologically for a girl?
I think it's very I don't want to say demeaning, but I guess the next word under demeaning, only because it's telling you that whatever you are and whatever God blessed you with is wrong. And so you go through this mentality that you were, and even, there are some that still don't make it. And it's like, well, this is the body that I have and this is the look that I have and I can't do anything about it, but it's just, it's a very, very, very fine line when it just comes to dance overall, because, you have different body types, but who's to say those body types that aren't the traditional standard can't perform the same routine. And like, shout out to the Alabama State Honeybees, killing it every single time. I don't know if y'all watched them, if y'all seen them, but they're doing some of the same choreo that we done, the cartwheels, the splits, all of it, and they're just as in shape as the J-Sets, just as in shape as the Stingettes and any other traditional collegiate squad. So I know we're moving in the right direction. It's just gonna take a very long time, I think. Yeah, but I don't know the word that I'm looking for under demeaning, but I just think it's very I don't know. I can't think of the word. If y'all got some vocabulary words that you think of what I'm trying to.
Danielle, what is she trying to say other than demeaning? It can be demeaning. Is there, Danielle, is there another? Is there like a
degrading?
It's degrading. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm in there with you.
It's a lack of respect and remorse for just humans being humans. You know, like we God created us all different, you know, and he created us different for a purpose, because if we all were the same, life would be boring.
Right.
And I think that, you know, to a certain extent, we you know, and social norms in our culture, you know, how we define what beauty is. I do feel that our society is going slow, but we are getting to a point where we're broadening that spans of a lens of what beauty is. And like you highlighted, like with the stingettes and honeybees and all of that, you know, you know, by highlighting that and by pushing that I won't say an agenda, but highlighting people that maybe not fall into that normal what society looks at as beauty, then it makes it more popular to be like who you are and feel who you are and express yourself how you want to express yourself and still be accepted.
Yep.
So, Chloe, you are currently the director of the J Sets. What's the important, like, what's the role of a director of a collegiate dance squad?
Everything you can think of. That's the answer. You know, there's so much. This is a loaded answer.
Yeah.
The home away from home, the mom, the big sister, the academic advisor, the sometimes financial advisor if they need help, you know, just depending on where they are in life and what's going on at home, if you are that type of director. Just somebody being there, and you know, y'all know, and this is for anybody that, you know, our fellow boomsmen, but the boom and just JSU as a whole is just a home away from home. And we've always created that atmosphere. We've always had that atmosphere. And so that's one thing, even though, you know, you have your, I'm Doc Era, I'm Mr. Taylor Era, Dr. Little, you know, all of that, it's still one big happy family. We still, you know, one JSU, but it's all about family. And so just being able to impress upon the younger generation coming behind me to have some type of impact in their lives is just, that's being the director. Because, you know, being in the band and just being a dancer or a collegiate dancer in the band, football, any type of extracurricular, it's breeding you for, you know, life. So you're learning life lessons, regardless if you play basketball, if you're in a band, if you're a J set or anything, you're learning life lessons pretty much. And so that is, you know, I guess just another teacher, another, you know, professor, if you will, another mother, another whoever. That's, to me, what it is. So
that is a lot.
yeah.
So Chloe, from an educator standpoint, like when you said you wear many hats, I never knew that you taught dance. I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess I just never knew. So now, man, you have so much going on right now. You got a lot going on. So when you were I'm sorry. Was there a part two? I'm sorry, I get carried away sometimes. I get excited when I get.
Let's go. Let's roll.
Look,
roll the conversation.
Cut me off if there's something. So here's the funny thing, not funny thing. So Chloe, when you were in school, did you see yourself being a director?
No,
none of that. All you saw was, what was your major?
So here's the story.
Come on with it.
The whole boom story. Go. Whole boom stories. We know your mom would march.
Yeah,
connected. Make the connection.
Growing up, I wanted to do something with dance. You know, graduating high school, my mama go major in dance. Mama and daddy said dance is not a real job. You need to get something to fall back on. Blah blah blah. Okay, cool. Go to Jackson State. I'm gonna be a J set. Great. Majored in economics. Didn't have a plan, but I was like, okay, by the time I graduate, I'll know what I want to do. 4 years, I know by then I'll know what I want to do. Graduated, got a real job, hated it, and was like, Mom and Dad, I'm sorry, I can't do this real job. I gotta go dance. I gotta go do something. So I went to NYU and got my master's in dance education. My goal was to always come back home because growing up in Jackson, Mississippi, people that look like us didn't have the opportunities to go to a dance studio and get classical training. You had to pay, this much money to go all the way out to these other cities. And so my goal, even if I never did plan to come back long term, my goal was just always to come back and have a studio in Jackson, Mississippi. For us to be able to, see ourselves in the mirror and not just be in a room that doesn't have, and have hardwood floors and have, bars and all of that. So that was my thing. Came back and just the job, presented itself. I love it. I'm here, and that's my story. So no, I didn't see at the time, never saw myself being a director. Ever, ever, ever. So
Chloe, I that's amazing to me because I have a little girl. She's 10 years old, 5th grade, and she's in dance, right?
Okay.
And I've brought her to several Jackson State games. She loves the atmosphere and all that type of stuff. But we live right outside of Tampa, Florida, and it's kind of like the situation that you were talking about as far as like dance studios that are most of the dance studios. The dance studio that she's in, we love it, but it's not that many girls that look like her.
Yeah.
And
it's probably not any teachers that look like her either.
It's no teachers that
I
look
only
like
had
her.
one.
Right.
I only had one.
And so like for us to be able to find that situation where we can put her in, that she can see somebody that looks like her, I want to tell you, like, this is something emotional. And this is one of the reasons why I was like so excited about us getting you on the show was because a couple of weeks ago, you guys dropped something on YouTube, the I Am Woman, right? And because, at the games, you guys are your girls are doing it. They're killing it. But my daughter does lyrical and she does acro, and does the flips and all that type of stuff. So she didn't see herself in that. She saw brown girls dancing, but she was like, that's not the type of dance. But that I Am Woman video, can you talk about like how that came to be? Because you guys were doing lyrical expression and all this other stuff. When she saw it, she was like, oh, I connected that. Even like today, I was like kind of prepping for the show and she was like, oh, can I look at it? And we was listening to the song and stuff together. So like, can you talk about that for a second?
So that was just an idea I had. One, because a lot of people don't know how much, I guess, cyberbullying that the girls are presented with just being a J-set. Cyberbullying, body shaming, just anything that you can think of as it relates to just kids being in school is heightened when they become a J-set because our platform is so huge. And so everybody nitpicks every little thing. And we actually started working on it in 21, but I didn't get a chance to do it. Everybody, people started pledging and doing things in the spring. It wasn't a big mandatory thing, so I just dropped it. But this year, the cyberbullying went up, the body shaming went up, all of the scrutiny, it kind of went up to a different level. And so I said, well, this is what we're gonna do. It's mandatory. You all don't understand the impact that it's gonna have, but I promise you, once it's out, it's gonna like take off. And they were like, okay, of course they didn't have a choice, but it's not like big balling or anything else that they're used to. So it's like kind of, it wasn't like pulling teeth because I gave them my vision, and that's pretty much anything. If I say like, hey, this is what we're gonna do, this is my vision, y'all take it and run with it. And that's exactly what happened. And I wanted us to infuse, the J-set style, because it's still a little, some stuff in there that we do, at the games. But I wanted to fuse the two because a lot of people don't know how talented, they are as dancers. They're just seeing like, oh, they're just doing this and the, butt shaking and the rocks the house and the bucking and all of that. But they don't know how talented they are as dancers. And so I wanted people to see them as individuals. That's why they don't even have on the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
They all have on different things. I wanted them to show their individual styles. But that was just our way of letting people know that we're individuals, we have feelings, we're human, we make mistakes, and it's okay for you to do the same. So I'm so glad that it reached your little girl.
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely gonna tell the J sets, because of course, we see the views, and comments, adults are commenting, but we really don't know when it reaches little girls, which that's who it's really for.
Yeah.
Because they used to be little girls and I was a little girl trying to see, what's out there for me to do. And I didn't see people like myself in dance. I only saw, collegiate dance and, whatever else. But yeah.
Yeah, because we're in Florida, so like FAMU doesn't have a dance, and Bethune-Cookman, so they're not bucking, and so like, but when I go home and I bring my kid, like she doesn't identify with that, but like when what you guys put on the screen, she identified with, and something else that we are kind of identified with. I think y'all was doing the stands battle against Alcorn for King's Affirmation.
Yeah,
man, like how did that come about too? Because what got me was that was the first time I ever saw the Boom, like the band, like
hyping
Jay Sess up. Like how did that happen? I was like, because I went straight to the band. I saw like the piccolos and the clarinets, like just hyping them up. I was like, oh, they feeling this, like, and you can see the energy transferring to the girls. And, they that show. So like, can you talk about that for a second?
So King's Affirmation. So here's the thing, and I know y'all probably aren't familiar with this, but the new wave now is the stand routines, which is basically a routine in the stands, not similar to what we do on the field, but just having a routine in the stands versus the bucking that or the 1-2 that we used to do, like where the captain does something and everybody else follows, right? That's the new thing. And so I think our first year doing a stand routine was 2018. And it kind of, blew off from there. Other squads are doing it, but the girls were like, well, we gotta do something, And I was like, I hate doing stand routines because we show what we can do on the field. We don't have to do that in the stands. But here we are. It's 2022 at the time. And so I was like, okay, well, we got to pick a song that we know the band is going to play. Because, of course, we can't just say, hey, play this. We got to pick from their playlist, basically. And so that was the one. And so we are in the AAC because I said, well, we got to practice it over and over and over again. We're just going to go up here in these stands and work on it. And so the girls are doing different stuff. And so I said, no. Now y'all go this way and y'all go that way. And they were like, what? And I was like, just do it. You can't see it, but I promise you it's going to be, it is what it is. So they were doing it and I was like, oh yeah. Now do A, B, and C. You do this, you do that, you do this, you do that. And it kept transpiring. And I remember sitting there thinking like, this is going to be good. But I kept watching it. And so I knew what was going to happen. Never thought the band would be, as hype. But the atmosphere that we were in, because it was an Alcorn game, we were going back and forth with the Golden Girls. They were doing their stand routines. We had something else. They did something. We did something. They did something. We did something. And this was this was the last song of the night. Alcorn was walking out of the stadium. And so it was just like, okay, here it is. So it was a moment, as they say. But yeah, it was exciting. It was exciting to piece together, and then it was exciting for the band to back them up as well because they watch all the time, but I think this was a different, because y'all know big balling, they gonna know certain parts. It was like, this was the part, that's gonna be something like y'all remember Soft and Wet and Toxic and Swoop and all that. They gonna remember King's Affirmation.
Oh yes. Absolutely. Hands down.
Yeah.
I need to see this. I'm sure I've seen this before. I know I have.
I'm going to send it to you.
Send it to me. I need to see because I don't.
Epic.
What'd you say, Danielle?
It's epic. It's you'll see it.
Yeah.
You'll see it.
Did you learn
when I'm having a bad day, I go watch the clip. It makes me smile.
No.
Okay, you didn't.
I know, like we were cool with like our crab sisters that were J sets. When you think about like all our crab sisters, like we were cool with them, but like just rooting for them. We wanted everybody to win, but like to visually be like you go.
But I never expected that from the band because they've never, but I think it was just the back and forth with, us and them and, Alcorn's our rivals. So it was just it was so cold.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was so cold.
It's always cold.
Always cold
somewhere. It's always freezing.
I mean, like body hurt cold, where you just want to scream. So
you know what? Y'all couldn't put on no long johns and nothing.
And see, they had hats and gloves, and they can do the layers.
Yes,
I actually had blankets that we pinned inside the capes.
Oh wow!
Oh wow!
Really?
Yeah, because
like
I know y'all probably. You wouldn't see this, but it was a time where they were getting ready, and Dr. Little had said, "Okay, King's affirmation," and I was like, "Take the capes off," and they were like, "No, you're not ready yet. We're not." I was like, "Take the capes off. Let's go. It's time." So yeah, the blankets helped inside the cape, but yeah, we can't wear layers.
Oh, that's very, very smart. Okay, so I got a question.
Okay,
are we ready for the question?
Go ahead.
Go.
Okay.
Get it.
All right. So
I'm nervous.
Don't be nervous.
You're doing great.
Yeah,
doing amazing.
Awesome.
We just having a conversation. We just chilling.
Right. That's it. So check it out. What was your squad? Okay. What was your best squad while you were
Nope.
She said next question. She said
all of them.
All of them.
Final answer.
Oh my goodness!
No, man. No, I would be 6 messages and phone calls. You're not finna sabotage
Exactly.
me like
That's
that.
exactly why we asked the question.
No, ma'am.
Chloe, I've been here before. No way.
No,
That's a good question.
But I will say this. Each squad has done something different than all the others. And that's what I appreciate about our legacy and our tradition, that we're still true to who the Prince and J6 are and who they were when we were started. But it's still just something that each squad every year has contributed to the legacy and the tradition that I appreciate. But no, ma'am. Every last one of them. Every last one of mine.
Look,
has a special place in my heart.
Look. Which squad contributed the most that you like? No, I'm sorry. Don't answer something wrong with that.
Reframe.
That's a good question.
Every last one.
You like them all?
Because it was all something different. Everything was each squad was different. And when I say different, I mean like not choreography, but we're doing things intrinsically where our GPAs are higher as a squad. We're doing things with our mental health to make sure we're okay, so that on the outside everybody can see that we're okay, not just stuff that people can see from the outside looking in. You know what I mean? And so those are the contributions that if something, knock on wood, was to happen to me, that they will be able to continue on and say, okay, this is what Miss Crowley implemented, and this is what we're going to do, and this is how it is for whoever is coming behind me.
Beautiful.
So that's some. So what you just said, Chloe, right there, that is man, that's almost like the meat and potatoes of what we're doing here with the show, like giving flowers, talking about history, learning about history. Chloe, I marched in 1998. You telling me some stuff that happened back then with the J6 that I had no clue, because we were in the band hall. You guys were in the building performing, and we really didn't see you guys until we came to the field. So
Thursday night.
So
that's, a lot of people, even my line sisters, they would say, "We don't know what y'all be doing. We just thought y'all be chilling, and then y'all come outside." And I'm like, "Are y'all kidding me? We working hard just like y'all. Like we just not in the same building." Right. But they never knew.
Never knew.
Yep.
Never knew.
We know now.
We know.
Yeah.
We know now. We knew then. You said, what'd you say, Chloe?
We've been putting in work.
Oh no, y'all definitely been putting in work.
Running and jumping and dancing and sweating and doing everything else everybody in the boom was doing.
And And so let's talk about that, right? Let's talk about all like the work, right? That's put into being a J-set, right?
Mm-hmm.
We don't know what it takes to be a J-set,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Who don't know?
We
You
know.
don't
I'm
know.
not a J-set.
You not. I'm not either, but I know. I've studied. I'm lying. Keep going. I'm sorry.
You call that studying?
I'm
Look,
getting
I'm
out of
like,
line.
oh, tell me, let me know.
Offline. I'm kidding. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Sorry.
So the J-sets are pretty popular,
Mm-hmm.
right, amongst HBCU community, but also now the squad, the prancing J-sets are more forward facing, and I believe my personal opinion is that it's like well overdue. The type of attention and media that the J-sets get today. How do you like the difference between when you were on the squad and now? And we knew then that you deserved what you all are getting now, right? These opportunities, these amazing opportunities. How does that feel? Like what is that like feel like for you? And how do the girls take it? And what do you like teach them in like these spaces?
I'll start with saying I couldn't do what they do. And from that, I mean, my sophomore year is when YouTube really kind of just started coming around.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had opportunities where we may go to a game and nothing from that game is posted on the internet because nobody was at Alabama A&M in Huntsville, Alabama. And if they weren't the people that were following us. They were just there for the game, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but now they can't go down the plaza and do a pep rally without it being posted on the internet. And so that's a whole different level from when I was on the squad. And so I commend them every opportunity I get, even the band, to have every single thing you do be nitpicked by alumni, by fans, by naysayers. That's just a different level, a different mentality. I really think they're numb to it, to be honest. Because
Is it normal to them?
Huh?
Is it normal to them? Because it seems
It's
like it's a
normal,
certain
but I
level of
think they're
celebrity.
numb. Yeah, I think they're numb to having cameras in their face.
Mm-hmm.
But I just asked them, what takes the fun out of being on the squad. And most of their answers were similar to it's like a job. They don't get a chance to have fun because they know, somebody's gonna pick apart every single thing that they do. So instead of it being fun, like it was fun when I was on the squad, it's a certain level of fun, but it's just not as high as what it was when we were having a blast when we were on the squad. Fun,
Right.
we knew if we messed up, we're gonna have extra laps. Okay, cool. But it's like now, if you mess up, you gotta have those extra laps, and people gonna talk about you. And if we not performing again for another 2 weeks, that's all they gonna talk about until they see you again to redeem yourself. And it's like that's no way to live, So yeah, it's a different mentality being on the squad in this social media era. Just being in any program that is highly publicized.
Yeah, that's a huge responsibility.
Yeah.
For a college age student, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Chloe, I love you so much. I'm so glad you were able
love
to
you
join
too.
us.
Thank y'all so much for having me.
Yeah, I'm so glad that you were able to join us. And, we like to bring people back. We might, come back, bring you, back with maybe a older. You never know. We might mix it up.
We'll see. If you get if you get Miss Worthy or Miss Otis, they gon' know. I had to beg, pulling teeth to get them to come do anything for me. So,
oh goodness,
best wishes.
We're gonna have to use
right,
Chloe. We're gonna have to
luck.
say, look, no, Danielle, we're gonna have to say, Chloe said.
Right. And they still gonna be like, I don't know about that,
I love it.
That's
I love
funny.
it.
Yes,
Well,
Chloe, I'm glad the girls got you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
We can see, I can see that you got the heart for it.
Yeah.
And you genuinely care about those girls.
Yeah.
And they need you. So you know, like we said, we want to give people their flowers and want to make
Thank
sure
you.
that they feel appreciated.
Yeah.
Because I know, especially when y'all get in the middle of the season and y'all tired and all that type of stuff, you guys are doing great work. And like we've come back and we say a lot of great things about, you know, Dr. Magruder, Dr. Liddell, like the people that we marched under, Pop Duplessis. I can guarantee you 20, 25 years from now, your girls are going to be saying the things that you directed them in life. And so, like, I'm so glad that they have you.
Thank you.
And they booked down this past year. Just want to put that out there. They look
Put
amazing.
it out.
Girl,
They did.
y'all look
They
amazing.
killed
Put
it
it
this year.
out.
Thanks. Yeah, I really appreciate it.
Hey, it's all good, Chloe. So this is it. So we about to close it out. We thank you so much once again. Like Toby and Danielle said, do you have any last closing remarks, words, shout outs, Hayes, how you doing, whatever's before we end this, whatever's on your mind, on your heart, on your soul, girl?
I just want people to and when I say people, our fans and our supporters and especially our alumni, to know how hard, number one, myself and the band staff included, work for our program. We really love what we do. If we didn't, we wouldn't be here. And that's from the top all the way to the bottom. We're creating experience, and it's not just with me, but it's just even with the support of Dr. Little. Anytime I say like, hey, I have this idea, you know, he's kind of like, y'all just supposed to be dancing. But he does support everything, even the I Am Woman and all of that, you know, Mr. Johnson and the whole band staff. Everybody is just, it's a supportive working environment, and I wouldn't be able to do the things that I do without the support of the band staff. So that's number one. And then number two, I just want, again, our fans, supporters, and especially alumni to know how hard the students work and how different times are. Yes, let's give it up for them. How different the times are, and just to remember that when watching and when supporting, because this is an era and a generation that not necessarily they care about financial support, but they're more into the moral support, because this is the microwave generation and this is the likes and attention generation. And they want to know that their own is supporting them when nobody else is, win, lose, or draw. Because we all know we messed up in performances. We all know, you know, it's things that we've done that we could have learned from. We just didn't get caught on social media doing those things. And so those are the two tidbits that I want to leave with everybody.
You want to give a shout out to Mama too?
Hey girl, hey.
Chloe Crowley, we thank you once again. We are about to close out here. We will have you back on. I'm gonna say that right here, right now. You're gonna be back at some point down the road.
Okay.
All right. So remember I said that. All right. So once again, y'all, this is Tiger Talk with the 1400 Club. I am Terrell Key, joined with Miss Chloe Crowley. We have Toby Johnson, Danielle Walls. We are the people on your screen for today. Y'all have a good night. Thank y'all for coming out. God bless. Peace.
Love the boom.